among other things. I mean, there's nothing Dr. John hasn't do. We call him Mac. His name is actually Mac Revenack, so we refer to him as Mac. So I'll call him Mac. But he and I were mutually good buddies with a guy named Bobby Charles, and Bobby was a great songwriter from South Louisiana. He was a Cajun, and Dr. John, Mac, and Bobby were best friends at age 15. They both were in New Orleans making rock and roll records, early rock and roll records, with the likes of Little Richard and Etta James and you name it, everybody who came through New Orleans, Alan Toussaint. And it was a real, this is right before Elvis, and really popped. And they called it swamp pop at the time. Bobby was just a teenager, and he was the first white guy signed to Chess Records. And they signed him sight unseen. And this is like 1953, 1954. It's right before Elvis' first single. So they sent him a train ticket to Chicago, and they wanted to meet him, you know. Because by that point, I think he'd written Walking to New Orleans for Fats Domino, and See You Later, Alligator. And so he'd written some really big songs. And so, of course, he gets off the train in Chicago, and music had not yet integrated. So they were a little bit shocked. But they immediately put him out on the road with Chuck Berry and Little Richard. And, well, I mean, can you even imagine, like, your first road, you know, your first road trip is with Chuck Berry and Little Richard? There's no going back after that. That's just straight downhill. Uphill, downhill, you pick. It's hard to, you know, say, but there's definitely no reversing your direction after that. Ruined for the rest of the, ruined for anything else to do for the rest of your life. So anyway, Bobby was a really cool guy and kind of reclusive. He ended up in Woodstock, New York, around the time the band was doing Big Pink, and he was real good buddies with all those guys. He was at the Last Waltz, and if it tells you anything, Chris Christopherson and Bob Dylan were big fans of his songs. So that's kind of cool. So we're gonna do so I asked Dr. John if he wanted to do would you do a record with me of Bobby's songs, and amazingly enough, he said yes. And so this is, well, I'll do a couple of the songs from that record. I had a good time making that record. It was so much fun. Gumbo every day. And fried oysters, because Bobby lived on fried oysters and martinis. If you're wondering why he is no longer with us, it might have something to do with his non-restrictive diet. All right, well, let's see. Let's do this one. This is my favorite of Bobby's songs. This is a ballad from the record, and this is called I Don't Want to Know. Saying now how he's getting by, I might start to cry, I might never stop. And I don't wanna go to New Orleans no more. I am so afraid I might see his face that I couldn't take. So please don't say a word. What you might have heard, don't even say his name. 'Cause I don't wanna hear him tear. I don't all